The 2017 NFL Draft, the Atlanta Falcons select Takaris McKinley.
Select Vic Beasley, defensive end, Clemson. There you see.
What? What the fuck? I may be biased, but the NFL Draft is one of the best instances in sports that doesn't actually involve the sport. It is the best mixture of reality TV and sports. I know most of my viewership probably does not watch reality TV, even though I'm sure a lot of you were a part of that Love is Blind debacle, but imagine all of the drama of reality TV, but it being real. Then you add on the fact that it sometimes involves something you deeply care about, whether it's a player or a team, and you have the perfect primetime TV show. Well, Thursday night primetime. But it's still prime time. The NFL Draft is a day away, and it feels like it's the most uncertain draft there has been in a while. Just yesterday, Will Levis went from a 40-1 chance to be the number one pick to a 4-1. At the second pick, it seems like no one knows whether the Texans will take a quarterback or a defensive player. And then 6 picks later, your Atlanta Falcons have the number 8 pick. And it seems like we have no idea what they are going to do. In the last interview before the draft yesterday, Terry Fontenot and Arthur Smith said they would not mind moving up or moving down the board. Then Bijan Robinson came out and said he had a fantastic interview with the Falcons. So, we may not know exactly what is going to happen, but we can try to predict it. In this video, I'm going to give a list of prospects that I like, and then give you 3 mock draft scenarios. It may be a long and wild ride of a video, and if you only want to see the mock draft, skip to 6 minutes and 20 seconds. But if not, buckle up in your car seat and get ready. The first thing to go over is my big board. My big board is my top 50 players in this draft. I'm not going to go over this for long, so if you want an extended look, pause the video. The important thing is the Falcons pick at 8. In all the players I have in green, I have rated as first rounders. There's only 11 of them, and if you think that sounds low, it is because it is. Since they pick at 8, there's 11 first round picks, they should be able to get a first rounder. Of the prospects I have heard the Falcons are considering, Nolan Smith is the only non-first rounder I have, and he sits at a high second round pick prospect. As for our second round pick, any of the guys on this board I think would be a good pick. However, what do I think the Falcons will do with their pick? For the first round, it's easy, as there are really only 3 possible scenarios that I can see. The first is to stay at 8 and take one of the top guys on the board. The next is to trade down and target one of the next best players. And finally, the last option is to trade up and grab a superstar like Will Anderson. Now, what do I think the Falcons will do, and who do I think they'll target specifically? Well, to go through all of their target guys at every pick would take a while. So again, here's a list, and pause it if you want to read all of it. I will mention 3 guys from each category that I think would be the best fits. In the first round, it's Bijan Robinson, Tyree Wilson, and Nolan Smith. You have likely heard about all of these guys. Bijan Robinson is an absolute freak of an athlete who will enter the NFL and immediately be a top running back. I personally do not see the value in the pick unless he is used more like a heavy Deebo Samuel. And by that, I mean an offensive weapon in all facets of the game. Tyree Wilson is the Texas Tech edge rusher with freakish athletics, but not a ton of production in college. And lastly is Nolan Smith, who is freakishly athletic in his own way, but is also the leader of some of the best college defenses we have ever seen. Tyree Wilson would be my pick at 8 if he was there, but in a move down scenario, it's hard to bet against any of them. In the middle rounds, there's actually a ton of value. My top 4, yes, because the middle rounds are so deep you get a bonus player, are Cody Mauch, Drew Sanders, Sidney Brown, and Keon White. Cody Mauch is a college tackle at North Dakota State University, and he profiles as an offensive guard at the next level. He would instantly be a plug and play at the left guard position. As for the other 3 players, they all send a message that the defense is important. While the defense has been reformed this offseason, it could still use a little work. Adding a linebacker like Drew Sanders, who can rush the passer and play the mic, fills the role of Rashaan Evans. Keon White is a freakish edge rusher who should probably be receiving more hype as a first rounder than he is. Sidney Brown is an undersized safety, but perhaps the best nickel in the class, maybe only second to Brian Branch. I will admit, a receiver here would also be great, but take your pick of them. There's a lot of good ones. We are almost at the mock drafts, I promise. In the later 3 rounds, 3 guys really stand out to me. Keaton Mitchell, Luke Schoonmaker, and Garrett Williams. Keaton Mitchell is my late round draft crush, and maybe my overall draft crush. He is a running back that would instantly become the lightning to Tyler Allgeier's thunder. You have likely heard of Jahmyr Gibbs, who is mocked as the second running back off the board, and if you have, think about Mitchell as a light version of Gibbs. Schoonmaker is a tight end that may be available in the 5th or 6th, and he fits perfectly within Arthur Smith's scheme, along with filling a need as the tight end position is really just Kyle Pitts. And I'm going to make a bold statement, but Garrett Williams, the last prospect, is the only late round corner I know will get consistent time in the NFL. He played on a great defense, has great tape and measurables, and will get after it on special teams. So, that does it for prospects, and you are finally going to see my glorious creations, my 3 mock drafts, all of which feature players I have shown earlier. As you can see, I have 2 scenarios in which I traded back and 1 in which I stayed put at 8. In all of them, late round picks were traded, as Fontenot has not taken a 7th round pick since being with the Falcons. All in all, the middle one is, in my opinion, the best scenario for the Falcons. However, which one is the most likely? Probably the one on the right. I find it hard to believe the Falcons will have suitors for the 8th pick, as the constant rumor mill is turning up that the quarterbacks are going to fall. CJ Stroud may go in the middle of the 1st round if he gets drafted at the same number his intelligence testing measured. Overall, I picked out all of these players because I think the Falcons will be watching them. I think all of these drafts are beyond realistic. But the most important thing to remember is, whether you like my drafts, like the players, or not, nothing beyond a name is decided on draft night. You may know the name and the tape, you may not like it or you may do, but it will take some time to know if the players will perform. And while I have made fun of some of the Falcons picks earlier, they have made some great ones as well.
With the 3rd pick in the 2008 NFL Draft, the Atlanta Falcons select Matt Ryan, quarterback, Boston College. NFL Draft, the Atlanta Falcons select Julio Jones, wide receiver, Alabama.
This has been Peach State Sports, produced by me, Joseph Kopcho. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.